Alright guys, we got another video. I have a character that can walk. If I hit play, if I push to the left, he'll walk left. If I push to the right, he walks right. And if I push up and down, he plays the idle. Alright, so last week on Friday or so, or maybe Thursday, whatever it was, I asked you guys to draw some better characters. And if you drew them, then that's what you're going to use. If you did not draw one, then you're going to use the one that I have. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to Schoology. Well, actually, we're going to do two things. First off, I'm going to go to my sprites folder. And I made some with Sonic. I'm going to show you guys how. We're going to use this other one, though, first. So I'm going to go to my sprites folder. And I'm going to make a new folder. And I'm going to call this, I don't know, player 1. Player 1. So I have my player 1 folder, and inside of here is where I'm going to put my new pictures. So if I right click and I say open in file manager, here's my folder. And this is where I'm going to put my new pictures for my character. So what you're going to do is you're going to go to Schoology, and let me go ahead and show you guys exactly where it's at. So it's going to be under the Monday folder, which you'll be able to see this folder, so you'll go to Monday. And then in the Monday folder, you'll see player movement. So I'm just going to click on player movement, and then I'm going to click it again, and now it downloads the folder. So if I show in folder now, so what I did there is I hit this up arrow and I said show in folder. So right there this is my downloads folder. This is player. So what I need to do is I need to drag and put all these pictures into this other player 1 folder that we just made. So I'm going to right click and drag, and I'm going to drop, and I'm going to hit extract here. And it should put my pictures in there. Alright, I don't want them in that folder. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open this. I'm going to grab them all. Control A does that. I'm going to right click and I'm going to say cut. And then I'm going to go back up and I'm going to do paste. Now I'm going to delete this folder because I don't like that extra folder there. So there's all of my pictures. You can see what he looks like right there. That's his idle picture, and his running, and his jumping. Cool. So I'm going back to my game, and now you can see I have pictures here. There's my idle. Now, if you look real close at the character, he kind of looks fuzzy. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to fix that fuzziness by re-importing my picture. So if you come to the character here in the folder, there's all your pictures. I'm going to grab all these pictures at the same time. So if you click the bottom one, hold shift, and then click the top one, you can select all of them. So what I did is I clicked the bottom one, I held shift, and I clicked the top one. Now I'm going to go to import. See up here it says scene and then import. We're going to click on import. And then now it says preset. Click on preset here. And you want to set this to 2D pixel. When you do that, it's going to re-import the character a little bit different. Because what it does is it blurs the colors a little bit. But I'm just going to do preset 2D pixel. And then down at the bottom, I'm going to hit re-import. And you're going to see now my character looks like an actual pixel character. I can see all the lines and edges, which is what I wanted. Now, if you like the fuzzier look, then you leave it that way, but I think it looks sharp like that. Okay, so now I'm going to go back to my character here, Bob. And I'm going to click on his animation down at the bottom and go to animation player. Animation player over here on the side. And I want to use these new animations here. Right here, this idle guy is kind of just standing there. I just dropped him on the screen so you can see what he looked like. I'm going to get rid of it. Now I'm going to go to my walk animation, and I'm going to change it. Let's see how many running or walking pictures I have. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I have a total of 6. So I'm going to adjust my window here with my zoom, and I'm going to change the length of time. So the length of time for this is going to be 0.6 because I have 6 frames. And now I'm just going to start swapping these out. So if I click on Sprite, and you can see there's my picture of my guy. So I'm going to go to run 0, and I'm going to switch that out. Now my character's a little bit big, so I want to change the size of him. So I'm going to let's do 1 by 1. Perfect. So that's the right size. Okay. Now I'm going to go to the next frame, and I'm going to switch it out with this one. Oh, I hope I keyframed that other one. I might not have. Nope, I didn't. So make sure that you're actually hitting the keyframe. So I'm going to click back on my first one, and I'm going to drop run 0 in. I'm going to hit the key, so that saves it basically. Goes to the next one, and I had already hit the key on that one, so I'm going to go to the next one, which is run 2. I'm going to keyframe that one. Then I'm going to go to 3, and I'm going to keyframe that one. Then I'm going to go to 4, and I'm going to keyframe this one. And then I am going to go to 5, and I'm going to keyframe that one. Now, if we press make sure your repeat button's on, and if you hit play, you'll see that your character runs. He's got his little running animation. Now we need an idling animation. So I'm going to go to the idle part here, and I'm going to switch that out with this idle picture. So I need to go to the first frame. I need to drag and drop idle in, and I need to hit the key. Now I have a new idle. So let's play our game and see if it fixed it. So there's our character idling. If I push to the right, he runs, but he's still running. If I push to the left, he's running backwards. So we're going to fix that. So first things first, I'm going to make it where he stops running. So I'm going to go to my animation player again, and I'm going to go to walking, and I'm going to turn off this repeat. Play this again. So now if I push to the right, he will stop running. If I push to the up and down, he does the idle. So let's deal with this. Let's go to our code. The first thing we want to do is when we run to the left, we want it to look left, and when we run to the right, we want it to look right. So let's see if we can't fix that. So if we're running to the right, there's a value that's called flip. So what we can do is say if we're pushing to the right, we want to play the walking animation, which is right here, and we want to do animation player dot flip, I think it's called. Let me see if I can figure it out real quick. Okay, I figured it out. So what we do is we need to flip just the picture. We don't actually want to flip the entire animation player. So what we're going to do is we're going to do $sprite dot flip h is equal to, and I think it to the right is false, and then to the left is true. So let's try that. So what that does is it's going to go to the picture and it's going to flip it around when you're pushing a certain direction. So this says don't flip it if you're going to the right, but do flip it if you're going to the left. So let's play. See if that fixed it for us. So now we're going to the right, and then if we go to the left, it just flips the picture for us. Cool. Alright, so now we need to go back we need to go, we need to make it play idle whenever we're not pushing a button. So here's what we can do. Let's get rid of this. Let's get rid of this. And I'm going to try this on the fly. It's going to be something really close to this. So we're going to say if all right, so what we're going to do is we want it to play while we're moving right and left, but we want it to be idle when he has no motion. So he has motion when vector 2 is not 0. So basically, here, let me just print this out. Print velocity. So if we push play on this, while our character is running to the right, it's going to tell us, ooh, it's not even telling us what our velocity is correctly. Oof. Let's put this in here. Cut. Let's put it down here and see if it actually tells us. It should tell us some velocity. There we go. So right there, it's printing out that we have some velocity. So when we run to the right and left, we get velocity on the X direction. And if we go up and down, we get velocity in the up and down in the Y. So we want to make it where this plays only when we have no velocity. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to here, and we're going to say if velocity is equal to vector 2 of 0, 0, then we want to play the idle animation. Animation player dot play idle. Okay, so now when we push to the right, it will not flip our character. Oops. And it will play the walking animation. If we push to the left, it will flip our character and play the walk. If we push up or down, it's not going to do any playing. But if we have no velocity at all, it should automatically play the idle animation. So let's try that out. So now we have our character just standing there. And if I push to the right, he'll start running. If he loses his velocity, he will stop running. And then to the left, he flips and runs. So there we go. Now there's a lot more stuff we can do with this, but we're learning how to flip and play different animations at different times. So that's the end of this video. You guys have a good day.